The day has arrived. Your new music is in stores and online.
Yeah.
Tell me what your reaction is right now. How are you feeling? Are you excited? Are you nervous?
I mean, I'm really happy. I'm really excited. Got an opportunity to speak to Brandy a little earlier today, to wish her, a successful show. She's having the
New York show.
She's having the New York album release show today, so I'm really excited for it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy, man. I'm just I'm elated by the response of all of the fans, all of the stars. I was telling you earlier that the stars are one mean crew. Y'all are definitely serious.
We do not play.
Y'all don't play, and I'm just really excited, and I try to live with a truthful perspective when it comes to music, and when it comes to life, and I wanted to give people, I feel, a true insight of not only just how incredible Brandy was and Brandy is and Brandy will be.
Absolutely.
And so it always feels good when you do music and people gravitate to it and they accept it and they respect it and they love it. I used to admire so many of the greats, from Michael Jackson to Quincy Jones to Whitney Houston, God rest her soul. Just so many people. New Edition, Belleville DeVoe, all the way to Usher.
Wow.
And Beyonce, and Destiny's Child, and I used to admire so many of these great artists and their music, and just wanted to somehow have an opportunity to have an effect on a culture like they were able to do.
Good.
So,
well, you're originally from Atlanta, but at a young age you moved to Germany. So I'm very curious to know, what is the culture like over there, and how did you kind of make that transition and realize that you wanted to be R&B being overseas?
Well, I mean, I'm from the south side of Atlanta, and everybody know Camelton Road in Atlanta, Georgia, is definitely the hood, but at the same time, I was very, very fortunate. My dad was stationed at Fort McPherson. Those are people that's in Atlanta would know where that is, and I just had the opportunity to travel as a young man and as a kid, and I never lost the true essence of what R&B and what music from the soul was all about. My mother was a very true advocate of just being really, really true to yourself, and being really, really true to what it is that inspires you.
Right.
So I was raised in a household that there was a lot of truth and soul and grit and grind and no shortcuts.
Right.
No smoke and mirrors.
Right.
So and moving to Germany, it sort of gave me an opportunity to sort of see the world in a different light.
Right.
See people in a different light. Understand a different culture. Understand so many different people. Chinese people, Asian Asian descents, Germans, Africans, Italians, Greek. It was a big mesh pot of people,
right.
And it was a culture shock for me, but I was just so happy. After probably about 4 or 5 years, I really became a lot more acclimated to just being different.
Okay.
And that sort of worked to my benefit, because I realized when I was really young, I was definitely different.
Right.
I just didn't see things the way a lot of people saw things, and I wasn't really a kind of person that liked to jump on the pile. I like to use that phrase, jumping on the pile. Jumping on the pile is pretty much when something is successful, just jumping on the bandwagon and basically trying to embrace something after the fact.
Right.
My perspective is always trying to discover things, and I love our generation now because we are a discovery generation. We like to discover things on our own. We're not necessarily listening or waiting for the government to dictate to us who we are, define us. And I don't like to be defined, by what people. I just don't like to be defined based on what people's opinion is. I like to be defined on the facts of who I am and what I put out and what and what I earn.
Before we jump into 211, I hear you talking a lot about being true to yourself. Unfortunately, you lost your mother in 2002. Is that one of the life lessons that she really instilled in you, being yourself?
Very much so. Very much so. My mother was someone who really worked hard in life, and she's she comes from a family of 13 brothers and sisters, and my mother had a real struggle. Her life was filled with struggle. I could say that she's deceased, but my mother was raped when I was 4 years old, and she was left for dead. And I've had some incredible struggles. Even starting as a young adult. So I think that's where a lot of I draw my work from the things that hadn't went so well in my life.
Okay.
Struggles. I don't know why, but struggles sort of push me to do great things.
Right.
They inspire me. I'm inspired by struggle. I'm inspired by people not believing in me and people doubting me and people, questioning my talent, questioning my ability. And I'm a true lover. I'm a lover for. I'm a lover first. I love people first. Before I give my opinion about someone, I'm gonna try to inspect who they are, what they are, and to lead into the 211 album. I believed in Brandy. I feel like her talent has done so much for our generation. She's an angel in disguise.
She is.
And her music is also an angel in disguise. The way it affects people, the way her voice affects people, the way she inspires people, her tone. It's so much love in her tone. I mean, there's goosebumps now because when you think about just her emotional connection, the emotional connection with her tone and your heart and your feeling, and I'm not, I'm real, I'm just as I'm as real as it get. I don't do things for monetary advance. I just do what I feel in my heart, and I felt like Brandy. One thing I'll let everyone know, Brandy didn't have a lot of money to work with on this project. She didn't have a big budget. There was so much chaos in the whole process, and it was truly God. It was truly God that touched this project.
I believe it.
It was some prayers that was definitely answered.
Absolutely. In
this process. So I must admit that this is not me. All the producers, shout out to all the producers and songwriters who participated in this album. Thanks to all the fans. Thanks to Breon Prescott. Thanks out to RCA. All the people that work at RCA. All the people at radio. Thank you, because all the promoters, all and all of the naysayers, all of the haters, because it was everyone. God touched this project and gave this project,
I definitely agree with that because we finally got to see the making of Wildest Dreams.
Right.
And we got to see her first reaction. We got to see your reaction. That song is almost like gospel music. I mean, you literally are affirming love in her life, affirming love in anybody's life that is listening to that project. How were you able to create almost like a story of such beauty and such love?
Well, I will say, that whole process, man, working with Brandy through the time of the beginning of the album and towards the end was just a process of love. And I know that sounds corny and cliche, but it really was, because I got an opportunity to see Brandy every day with her boyfriend, which is it's a fairly new relationship for her, and we all know what Brandy went through.
Absolutely.
And what was so beautiful about it, I feel like Brandy came clean, with her behind the music, the behind the music situation, just her whole life, she, the accident.
Yeah.
I did a record, another record for the album that I really love. and it didn't make the album.
White Flag?
Yeah.
Okay, stars, you have it. White Flag, you're about to know what White Flag is about right now.
You know, and I think, you know, I'll talk to Brandy and we'll figure out how to make that, you know, and I produced that record with my man Hit Boy. So shout out to Hit Boy. If you don't know who Hit Boy is an amazing producer from the Good Music Camp. He has that record out called Click right now that's stupid. He also did Niggas in Paris. So Hit Boy's amazing. Shout out to him. But this record White Flag, man, it's just it was a record that I was touched to write. That just basically gave a synopsis of her whole struggle, you know, of what her life was like, you know, going through it all. And basically White Flag was like her surrendering. You know, it was like yo, like Brand, you just gotta surrender. You know, it ain't like you know, White Flag wasn't really about her giving up. It was about her surrendering. And I think when it comes to God, the reason why a lot of these records have such a gospel influence, such as White Flag and you know, Wildest Dream, is because, you know, my mother was a very emotional, she was a very, very emotional religious woman, you know, who lived on both sides of real life but no matter what, keeping her faith in God, you know. And I think that's the one thing that me and Brandy just connected on. Like we know God, you know. I'm not saying I'm an angel and you know, I don't curse. I mean, I make mistakes. I curse and I go hard. Anybody that know me, I go hard in the paint. But one thing I do know is I love God and I respect God and I respect what He's done for my life and I respect what He's done for others. And bringing Brandy in my life on a personal level has heightened my life. Has given my life a different type of meaning.
Right.
And all of the accolades and you know, the money and opportunities and all of that stuff is great, but there's nothing like an emotional feeling that you get from, you know, being able to help someone and give of yourself, you know, unselfishly.
Absolutely.
You know, and that's all this whole album, this whole process was about. Me giving, you know, I did a deal that I wouldn't normally do. It wasn't about money, you know. It was just, you know, it was just about the love of this music and love of spreading conversation to people and helping inspire people. You know, I can go through every record and explain to you why, you know, certain lyrics were said. You know, Sick.
Yeah, I was about to jump into Sick. Bangla just said that she cried in the studio. Absolutely. What's that about?
I mean, y'all don't. I will tell y'all something. For people to think that, you know, there have been people to say, like, you know, some of the things that Brandy said in the past wasn't true, this, that, and the third. Well, when you're the biggest artist in the world, when you have such a blessing to have a voice like Brandy, you sometimes you have a lot of compromises to make.
Right.
Because you have business, you have personal, and then you have you as a star.
Right.
Which she was such a star in such a young age, there's certain things that you just can't always say.
Right.
It's just a fact. And not to get off the subject, but you know, there was a lot of conversation that was really true about Brandy that we were able to just really talk about on this album. You know what I mean? And I think that's what was so beautiful about it. It was like the record's Sick. When you take them back every time, because the love is so amazing, it makes you so sick.
Ain't that the truth?
When you sit and compromise everything you said the night before that you wouldn't do, sick.
Yeah.
When you love them more than you love yourself, and you can't let go, because you just can't help it, and the only thing left to do is cry, because deep inside, it makes you sick. You know?
Wow.
That's just
wow.
So that, she cried, you know, because I'm gonna tell you something. Like, those lyrics come to me like water.
Yeah.
The gift of melody and the gift of lyric comes to me like water.
You are truly anointed. You are able to write the storybook of her life and other people's lives. Yeah. That's an anointing.
And I think, thank you. I think that's the thing about Brandy that I was trying to say earlier. She, she's not perfect. She's not perfect. We're vessels.
Yeah.
We're vessels who are put in place to help a tremendous amount of people. But with that, you will incur some damage. You will incur some bullets. You will take some blows. And I will say, if you love Brandy and you appreciate what she's done for your life in music, support her. Support the album. I think album sales and the whole internet conversation about how many albums you've sold has watered down the true meaning of love, true meaning of life, the true meaning of what's real, the true meaning of real albums.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Definitely.
People went out and supported the Adele album, which I'm a big fan of Adele, and I think it was a magnificent album. I think this album is just as good.
It is.
If you bought the Adele album, you should buy the Brandy album.
So what about what you know and do you need?
Do you know?
I'm sorry, do you know?
Oh man, sexy man.
Yes, that is something that we have not seen from her in a while.
Yeah.
I'll be on the kitchen in your favorite position.
Okay, that's two different records, right? That's two different.
And then,
records.
do you know what are you talking about? She's talking to this guy. What do you know? Do you know what you have here? I'm Brandy. Hello.
Yeah. I mean, the one thing about Brandy I like is, Ryan's my man, but she's sexy. She's Brandy got a sexy side. I always thought, I used to be like, why is it that people always say Brandy's not sexy? But I think a woman's sexy when I think her voice is sexy. Her talk voice is sexy. And I think her demeanor when you sit and talk to Brandy, it depends on what moment you get her in, because she's a sexy person. She likes to keep it all tucked in. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. She's always trying to. Well, no, honey, I can't let them see this. This is only for my man or whatever. So that's really what Do You Know was all about. Okay. It was about unveiling, a sexy side to Brandy that is clearly there, but. Everybody don't get a chance to see that. Because, we remember Brandy as being Moesha. And her first single being, I Want to Be Down. So, definitely, she didn't have to sell sex to be able to, get your attention. Mm-hmm. So it was just a little small departure, which is, a very, very sexy song. And she pulled it off, incredibly well. She didn't have to pull it off. She just did what she do. And the record hard. Shout out to my brother Mike Will, who I produced that record with. And that record hard. So Bang is just the thing about him. He and both of us are Pisces, and it's weird, but we don't really work in the studio together. Mm-hmm. Cause we're so erratic. We kind of got our own mindset. He's very know what he want to do, and I know what I want to do. So it's kind of he'll do his part, he'll do the track, mm-hmm. and then I'll take the track. And sometimes we kind of get into it because I'll be he was like, why you didn't write to all of that? I was like, I didn't like all that. I wanted this right here. You know what I mean? So he'll kind of get upset about that. But we found a way to really, really, we got the hugest respect for each other. I think he's the best at what he do. He think I'm the best at what I do. So we work really, really well together. And shout out to you, Bang. If I ain't never told you, I love you, bro. You inspire me like I inspire you, and I think that you are absolutely amazing, man. So there it is, okay, publicly. You're my brother. We've always been brothers, but, he's just amazing. And honestly, Brandy really, she just wanted us to do the whole album. She was just can we do more? Can we do more? But, it's just so much. And there's so many other great producers that I got a chance to work with. The Business, who I did a Wildest Dream with, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to them. Incredible.
Could you bring clarity to the track Let Me Go? Some fans are having a hard time understanding what you guys are really talking about.
Oh, Let Me Go. Why don't you let me go? Let me
got
go
the Swedish
tonight.
sample in it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's actually Licky Lee.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Licky Lee. I love her. But, it's pretty self-explanatory. Let Me Go tonight. It's just, she just, boy, don't you let me go. Like, don't, you know how I get when you let me go. Like, when you let me do my thing. When you let me hang out a little bit. You know what I'm saying? When you let me be myself. You know what I mean? I get to it. I get wild. You know what I mean? So don't let this go. Okay. Like, this is yours. You know what I mean? Like, turn up.
Brandy recently said that she would love to do a duet with Kelly Rowland. Yeah. Would you like to have your hand in that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I would definitely. I think Brandy should be working with everybody. You know what I'm saying? I think all rappers, y'all should have Brandy on your hooks. You know what I'm saying? I just think Brandy's back. At the end of the day, Brandy's back, man. We needed her. You know what I'm saying? We needed her, man. We needed her. We needed another strong. Beyonce is the queen. We know that. You know what I'm saying? Beyonce is incredible. But we also needed. We needed that Brandy voice, man. Brandy does something. She does something to our music that there's nobody like Brandy. You know what I'm saying? I think and Beyonce has said it. You know, Kelly Rowland has said it. Rihanna has said it. That Brandy inspired all of them. You know what I'm saying? And inspired all of us. Right. So I think it's important. I think that at the end of the day, what I'm really trying to say is let's take care of each other. Let's take care of our music. Let's take care of our music so we are not watered down. Right. You know what I'm saying? I hope y'all understand what I'm trying to say. Let's take care of our music. If we don't take care of our music, then there's no us. And it doesn't make sense for one person or two people to be running the industry. You know what I'm saying? Because we need tours. You know what I'm saying? We need budgets. We need networks. We need sponsors. We need that. And how are we gonna? Come on, man. I start preaching, but
I know. Let's talk about Twitter. I love that you have been so connected to the stars, to the fans, to everybody. You're in there. You're retweeting. You're having fun. You're saying what you want to say, and you're just joining in, and you're supportive. Right. Have you ever seen anything like this in your life?
You know what? No, I haven't. I've never seen anything like the stars, man. The stars are really, really...
How does it make you feel?
It makes me feel good. I mean, I think the fact that, to have that type of camaraderie with fans and the consumer is... the artist and the consumer is really what it's all about. Social media is that's what it's for. Mm-hmm. It's for us to communicate better. It's for us to be able to, pass along messages and pass along conversation and pass along music. We're moving more music now than we're consuming more music now than we've ever consumed. So I think it's important for us to be able to, pass on, yo, you heard that new Brandy album, it's incredible. You know what I'm saying? And you tell somebody, and you tell somebody, and you tell somebody, because that's what get the numbers up. A lot of people, say, well, we want, a lot of the stars say, we want Brandy to be number one. Well, you got to not only request it, you got to buy it. You got to go to iTunes, you got to purchase. You know what I'm saying? And I try not to do that on Twitter. I try not to, I don't like to tell people what to do. Okay. I like to just put it out there and let them make their decision and discover it on their own. Right. And the great thing about this whole Brandy album is people are discovering how much they like it.
What is your message to the stars right now? Something that you haven't said or that you want to reiterate on?
Stars, look, this album is coming out tomorrow. Okay, I'm sure y'all know 10, 15, or 20 people that love Brandy as well. You gotta, if you want this album to be number one, you gotta pass the word, and y'all got to go out and vote. Vote means buy. Okay, you have to, you have to put your money where your mouth is. $10. You know what I'm saying? People buying. Shout out to Jimmy Iovine and my man Dr. Dre. They buying a lot of them headphones. So it's all the same. If you look at the debate, if you look at Mr. Obama, President Obama, battle for his life right now, it's all the same. We got to go out and support. And I don't just support Obama because he's black. I truly support his views. I can see, we can tell that there was a lot for us to overcome. Yeah. I mean, there was a lot left it was just crazy.
Right.
You know, so we got to go out and support and vote for our president. We got to go out and support and and vote for our favorite artists.
Yeah.
If you know Brandy's you all's favorite artist, you got to go out and purchase. You got to go out and buy the album. The album's coming out tomorrow. Tomorrow's October 16th, ladies and gentlemen. So make sure y'all get out there and get that album. And
so what is next for you?
What's next for me? You know, I'm in the studio right now, man, with some exciting new artists. One of the artists who I love dearly is Rain. She's
we like Rain.
She's incredible. Working on her album right now. Working on, you know, I'm really looking to get in the studio, back in the studio, and work with Chris Brown on his next album.
Okay.
I feel like Chris is right there at that pinnacle where he can really take it to the next Michael Jackson level.
Absolutely.
I'm happy to see that, you know, all of the past is behind, and you know he's admitted to his mistakes, and I will say that, you know, I feel like Chris stood up like a man and again took responsibility. I'm not saying it was right what he did and nothing like that, but he took responsibility for what he caused, and he walked through the fire, and I have to take my hat off to him.
Yeah.
And I love Chris. He's my little brother, and I think he's so talented. I was in the studio with him a couple weeks ago, and I just would love to get back in the studio with him and really help him build an incredible album for this next time out.
What about Beyonce, Fantasia, or Eve? Because Eve just dropped a new record.
Oh yeah, okay. I you know what? I missed that. I didn't get a chance to hear that yet. But I love Eve. I think she's great. Beyonce, you know how I feel about B. I love her, and
Fantasia.
you know I love Fantasia. Well, I was fortunate enough to work on her first album. She's got an extra man. Beyonce and Fantasia's voices are amazing. I'm glad to see Fantasia's back.
Yeah, me too.
I love to work with her. I love her.
You know who I really like? Raven Simone.
Wow.
Are you going to work with Raven Simone again?
You know what? I'm not sure. I didn't even know. Is she recording?
I don't know if she's recording again. I know that she's on Broadway right now doing the Sister Act.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that music's got to be around the corner.
Yeah. I mean, you know what?
But I think she's completely underrated vocally.
Right.
I think a lot of people just don't know about her music, and I think it's great.
Yeah. I mean, I got a chance to work with her.
Of course.
I got a chance to work with Raven. I like her a lot. But I think Raven did something, again, in our culture that was so amazing. As a TV actress, she became a household name, but she became a brand, and I feel like the way she maneuvered that brand was amazing, you know. So I would love to work with her and see what she want to do, because she definitely got enough money.
Okay. Well, before I let you go, could you please encourage somebody right now who's watching who wants to be just like Sean Garrett?
Hey man, all I can tell y'all, man, is you know, just stay passionate. You know, life is all about what you believe. You know, if you believe that you can accomplish, you know, anything you want, you can definitely do that. I've been inspired by so many people. I'm inspired by Kanye. Shout out to Kanye. Shout out to Jay-Z. Shout out to Diddy. The two people I'm most inspired by are Diddy and Jay-Z, believe it or not. I love their well, Jay is just one of the smartest people I've ever met. He's so strategic in his ability to sort of take business and culture and entertainment and keep it all together and maneuver it in such a way. I love how I love his pivot. Yeah, that Jay, that pivot. And I also think Diddy is just an amazing force to be reckoned with. He taught me so much, man, on just being able to study the game and study business and really just make your life whatever you want it to be.
Yeah.
You know, because a lot of people said Diddy didn't actually do music when he was a great producer. You know what I'm saying? And producing, for all of the producers out there, I gotta say this. Just because you do tracks, you're not a producer.
Hey.
I'm sorry. You're
That's
just
good
not.
talking right there.
A lot of people just don't understand that. If you do tracks, that doesn't mean you're a producer. You gotta learn how to produce songs. That's a producer. Producer produces songs. Doing tracks, not to say anything negative about doing tracks, because that's a part of producing. Yes, it is. But producers do other things. I was saying that in the content as why Diddy is so respected by me, Sean Garrett, as a producer, because Diddy produced so many acts and so many records. He oversaw those, if oversaw is a word. He actually was a person that made the decision to put certain records out in the studio, put a little bit of this, put a little bit of that, no, take that out, that ain't gonna work.
Yeah.
Things like that. You know, you gotta inspect what it is that you inspect what you expect. If you like producing records, know how it is from the front door to the back. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of, and then you learn what's your niche. You know what I'm saying? Some people are great songwriters, producers. Some people are just great track producers, right? It's all producing.
Yeah.
I just think it's important that you understand what producing is all about, so you can get your money and you can know how to, you know what I'm saying, put together your deals and put together your contracts to where they make sense and they continue to make sense for you, and money and so on and so forth.
Sorry, 4 things. I think your next venture should be gospel music, because a lot of people don't know that you did "Through with Love" by Destiny's Child.
Yeah.
That record was phenomenal. Do you know how many times I cried to that song?
Wow.
That record just spoke to the story of so many people's lives. They're done with this man, and then they realize that God is their only source. Do you see gospel music in your future?
Yeah, hey man, I can't listen. I'm just blessed that people. I'm blessed that you like it. I'm blessed that people like it. I'm just blessed that people like what I do, man. So if you know, if my calling is to do gospel music, I would love to do gospel. It's in my heart. It's in my soul. I think gospel music is just all about what's true. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, of course, man. I would love to work with some gospel artists and do some gospel music as well.
Good. And give us one more thing about 211, your most memorable moment with Brandy in 211.
I mean, I would have to concur with Bang and say that, you know, the moment that, you know, Brandy broke down and started crying, man, that touched me in a different type of way. You know, I've never had an artist just start crying for no reason in the studio. Just like, I mean, she just emotionally broke down when she was singing Sick.
And that's interesting because Sick is not even a ballad. So you would think that people would cry when they're doing a ballad, like Have You Ever, you know?
I mean, you know what? She sort of act the same type of way when she heard Wildest Dream.
No, I can see that, because I ain't gonna lie, I cry when I heard Wildest Dreams.
But she was really touched by Sick, man. I think because she is such a, and let me say this to you, I think Brandy is an amazing songwriter. I really do.
I agree.
Because not only is she a great songwriter, I think she's a stylist. She is an incredible stylist. Like, she styles on folks, man. When she's cutting, she be styling. And I really try to, you know, speak that to new artists and kind of, you know, explain to them what styling is all about. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, it was a styling. It was a style. You know what I mean? Sick is a style. You know what I mean? Put
Sick
it down.
Swag on it.
Yeah, you know, put it down as you know what I'm saying? It's a swag. It's like, it's a style.
Yeah.
Favorite position, styling.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? So, yo, she's just a dope stylist. And when you listen to Brandy records, they don't sound like even if you heard somebody else sing them, they're not going to sound the same. And that, I'm telling you, if you're a vocalist, you're a producer, whoever you are, if you love music and you want to look at something as a guide, man, just study Brandy. Just study Brandy's styling. She's just a stylist, straight up. Like Chris said it, everybody know it. Like, she ill with the style.
Yeah.
She dope, man. She is really dope. You can't front.
Thank you.
She's cool with it, man.
Thank you.
And I love I love how the stars speak as if like he's like, thank you, like,
because it's
y'all are family, y'all past.
We are family. You have crafted my personal storybook of my life.
Wow.
You know, before Brandy started 211, she wasn't in a relationship, so we really got to see her last during Family Business, where she began to get in the studio and say that she was going to write about love and affirm it in her life. So for you to come out with Wildest Dreams, we feel like, wow, it happened. She affirmed it into her life, and now she is living her wildest dreams. I have the personal honor of actually knowing Brandy, so I feel connected to it because I know her.
Yeah.
But even as a fan, I mean, it's different, like you said. It's the styling, it's different. We feel one, we feel the anointing, we feel it.
I ain't gonna lie,
and it's
man.
True.
Those records was just coming. I can't even lie. Like, they was just coming. It was just like, I would sit down and I would talk to her one day, and we'll be working on one record. Like, we'll be working on, I think the first record that we did was, I think the first record might have been Put It Down. I mean, not Put It Down. The first record may have been Favorite Position.
Okay.
Because it was like, had to get the bar popping so high that had to get the building going crazy, you know what I'm saying? Had to get everybody really focused. But it was like every day that I would leave from talking with her, another emotion came from, like,
wow.
Like, we'll be working on a record, but she'll be in a different mood. So it's like whatever her mood was would be what I would be on there for the next day or the next time we did another record. And she would be like, wow, like, really, Sean?
Really?
You know what I mean? Like,
that's my
life. and that, you asked me to tell...
Memorable moment.
Yeah, a memorable moment. But you also asked me to sort of like, if I could give some people some advice.
Absolutely.
If you're a songwriter and you're a producer, it's really about really studying the artist that you're working on and you're working with. Like, when I would work with B, I had to study her. Like, I had to study her ways. So, and study what it is that I felt like affected her emotionally and what her fans wanted her to say.
Okay.
So it's kind of like 4 or 5 different things that you got to kind of study when it comes to artists. Study their past, study their future, and study where it is that they're supposed to be going. Y'all got to pay me for that right there.
That's so good.
But yeah, it's really about that. You really got to study. A lot of people just go in and write songs.
That goes back to what you just said. You have to inspect what you expect.
Yeah.
So studying is inspecting, and then your expectation is the outcome of the song.
Yeah, that's really true.
Amen, church. That right there. You should get paid for that right there.
Hey man, y'all need to cut that check.
Well, thank you.
Man, thanks.
Thank you so much.
And thanks for being a real true soldier for Brandy, man. And I think, it's a good feeling, man, to know that people believe in each other. That's my whole thing. I ain't trying to. I know it always sounds like I'm preaching, but those are the things that was instilled in me. Yeah. You know what I mean? I believe in family. I believe in, and family to me is people that really truly love each other, supporting each other. You know, there's a lot of fake families out here. You know, but I think true family is when you're willing to sacrifice something for someone for no monetary value or nothing in return. I think that's true. That's the true what family really is about.
Absolutely. Well, you heard it here first. 211 is in stores and online now.
Go get that.
Get one for your cousin, your uncle, your sister, anybody. Just pick it up and get it.
Turn up, stars.
Thank you.